Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy KAIO and I'm back again this time to give you another One Piece video, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you guys my review of One Piece chapter 1024. Well, this chapter surprised me, I'll be honest. I really thought that we would get Kaido's backstory before Yamato's, but instead Oda's given us Yamato's backstory first. It's not the entire thing, you can tell it's incomplete, we will get more of it. But I was kind of hoping we'd get Yamato's last, because the way I described it in one of my chapter reviews when they started fighting and then during Kaido's backstory video that I did, I was like, yeah, this would make sense if Yamato's is at the end, because when Luffy gets up there, he'll probably most likely hear exactly what Yamato went through, and I'm not exactly still ruling that out because I have come up with a theory on how Oda could do this, but it would just make sense that Luffy would get more pissed hearing Yamato's backstory that would piss him off more to fight against Kaido. But then we did get Yamato's backstory starting off now rather than Kaido's. But the theory is, I reckon the way that Oda might do this is that we'll get a bit of both. Maybe. It's unlikely, but you never know, because Oda's Oda. He does whatever he wants to do. So I was thinking, well, he could do Yamato like he's done in this chapter. Then, you know, the next chapter that's coming up by the end of this week, yes, this is a day late, but in that chapter, we could get a part of Kaido's, which connects with Yamato's. Maybe there'll be a connection of just all of them going together, but if that's the case, then we won't really get to see what happened with the Rocks Pirates. I think that would have been a better start, but that's just me wanting to see more of the Rocks Pirates. But of course it does tie in with Kaido, because it would have just been epic to see what he was like back in those days. I wouldn't say his glory days are pretty much now until Luffy defeats him, but it would have been nice to have seen what they were like then, and then build up to Yamato's story now. But what has Oda got in store? Because he always does this, he always throws in a curveball, showing Yamato's backstory now. But I get it, because they are fighting now, but then, I don't know. Maybe, yeah, during Luffy and Kaido's fight, that's when we will see Kaido's backstory. And if that's the way that it's going to go, then could it be one of those that we find emotional and we're like, wow, so this is what Kaido went through back then, because this is where he's realised he's going to lose against Luffy and Luffy's going to beat him. And you know where you could have like those bits where, I know it'd be in the anime, it won't be in the manga, because, you know, unless Oda does some like, you know, like shots where it goes into Kaido's eyes, which I highly doubt he's going to want to waste on, you know, the pages with that, but he'll hint towards it. Like in the anime, they'll show where the screen, you know, zooms into his eyes and we see some bits happen, like this is like the final part of Kaido's backstory where he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then suddenly Luffy just delivers the final blow, or gets into that final bit where Kaido realizes, yeah, I'm not gonna beat him. But that's, you know, talking further ahead into the future, but Oda's got a plan. I trust in Oda, I'm sure he will deliver, but I do want to talk about Yamato's backstory, and of course, the translation by Viz for one of these lines, which I will get into, because I'm not happy. I'm not gonna lie, I know it is the translations and everything like that, but I'm not gonna lie, this is the one time where I really do wish that it is a mistake and that it will be rectified for when the actual volume comes out, because it's horrible. It really is, but I will touch on that in just a second. Now, I do want to make a rough like comparison with like Sanji here, because Yamato and Sanji, they had the same similar, not upbringing, but they kind of did in a way, but what happened to them was very similar. You guys remember, I'll jog your memory if you don't, but I'm sure you guys know by now, Sanji was thrown into a cage by Judge, and obviously he got beaten by his brothers, and then obviously Reiji was the one that freed him. With Yamato, on the other hand, Yamato didn't really get that. It looks like Yamato was beaten by her own father. So it looks like Kaido did the damage. But then saying that, it could have been, I don't know, King, Queen, Jack, could have been one of those, or some gifters or whatever. I don't know, whoever it was, they obviously did the damage to Yamato, and I really did feel sorry for Yamato, because, you know, she's only little, like, she was tiny, absolutely tiny, and it's, oh, I felt so bad for her. But where she's saying, I am Kazuki Oden, the way that she's still proclaiming, I am Oden, and I am the sun, and everything like that, but these samurai are gonna kill me. And of course, everyone and their mother, I have seen it on Twitter, everyone's going, oh my God, He looks like Zoro. Zoro looks like him, his father, and so forth. And everyone's going crazy. Now let's get into this translation issue. Yamato is having a conversation with, I'll tell you the name in a second, but with said person, and asks, "Who are you, Sir Samurai?" I can't believe I'm actually going to be saying this. He's got his hands like that, and he says, "Just call me so-and-so." So-and-so. What is going on here? Why so-and-so? I know it's Japanese, but there's got to be a translation issue with that. There is no way that says so-and-so. I refuse to believe that. So do you know what? For the purposes of this chapter review, I'm going to call him Jeff. If you're going to call him so-and-so, then I might as well give him a name and call him Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
So Jeff is sort of, you know, they're giving the food to Yamato, explaining a lot of things like, you know, there will be a battle in 20 years and Yamato wants to be part of that battle because she says, "I want to, you know, be on the side of Wano rather than be on the side of my dad." And they're like, "Well, it's too long for us, but I believe you'll do it." And then Jeff goes and, you know, does a Zoro and cuts the cave open. And she says, "If you do this, my dad will kill you." But he's like, "Yeah, I'd rather that and starve to death, but at least we can give it a try." Jeff goes out with the other samurai, and yeah, we don't see what happens to them. We just know that they're dead. They're not around anymore. But a lot of people saying that Jeff is Zoro's dad, and that Zoro and Jeff are very similar. Anyway, so yeah, that's the last time we see Jeff at the moment. We might see Jeff a little bit later on down the line, but we'll just have to wait to see if he makes an appearance. Maybe within Kaido's backstory, because it is leaving Yamato's side, because Yamato wouldn't know exactly what happened to Jeff, apart from Kaido and of course Jeff himself. So yeah, I did enjoy it, but they've got to fix that translation. I cannot see so-and-so sticking. What about who, what, where, and why? I know we've already got who's who, but what about what, and why, and they? Oh, mate, it's annoying. It's so annoying, so-and-so. I'm never going to be able to get over that. Even Usopp had a silly name as well. Was it Sibling Hunter? Sibling Hunter? And so-and-so. I was waiting for a third. I really was waiting for a third. Because we had that at the start of the chapter, Sibling Hunter. Then we had so-and-so in the middle, Jeff. And then we were going to have one at the end. I was expecting it. But we didn't get one, which was good. We could have got someone's stupid name. We could have had Day or this and that. Just no. Like, don't get me wrong. I very rarely criticise the translations for Viz. But it's got to be done this time. It has to be. It's one of the biggest things, the biggest criticism I've had with this chapter. Probably the only criticism that I really have. Moving past that, we then get back to the fight. And one thing I've noticed, you can see how tonk Kaido actually is, because he's not sweating, he's not huffing and puffing, and nah, he just seems like he's just, yeah, this is me, because he's so used to it. It goes to show how, you know, strong and just the experience that man has. Yet for someone who's not even reached his 60s yet, I really thought he might be one of those people that might start to puff out. But when it is One Piece and you looked at Dr. Kureha, she's still moving around like anything, like she's in her 20s. So it goes to show why Big Mom and Kaido and all that can go on for a long while, and of course Rayleigh, unless you fall into Whitebeard's trap and you're on like a machine. Anyway, but then when you look at Yamato, you can see the difference. You can see there's not saying that Yamato can't put up a good fight and then later on in like future chapters she does damage to her own father, but Yamato's huffing and puffing. Luffy was huffing and puffing. You can see the experience between Kaido and everyone else, and that includes Big Mom as well. I can imagine near enough by the time that Wano ends, like everyone had this big burst of energy, but that is because they're following Luffy. Obviously, you got Momonosuke as well. Everyone's just believing in Luffy. That's the way it is, the way it's going to be. So if he's not going to go down, they're not going to go down. Even though they know Luffy has gone down, but they know he will get back up. Hence what Sanji and that was saying, like, we don't believe it, he'll be back up. But of course, Yamato is the one. Junpei comments on it. Who's holding Kaido back? Of course, it's Yamato, but no one knows that. Yeah, this fight could be very good. But then when you look at it towards the end, Yamato looks like, you know, she's not huffing and puffing, that she's back to normal. But I love the way that they're just throwing attacks. And like, you got Yamato jumping up in the air. I love that pose. And then she swings and then Kaido's just smiling and then he fires one back and she finds it even more powerful when it hits her. And of course, moving on to the final clash before the chapter ends, Yamato and Kaido use Thunder Bagua. It is an absolute epic clash, but it does confirm something for Yamato, which was technically confirmed earlier on in the chapter by Kaido, is that Yamato has Conqueror's Haki. So if Yamato joins the Straw Hat crew, that now means that Luffy, Zoro and Yamato all have Conqueror's Haki. I feel for Sanji. He will always be part of the monster trio. He'll always be one of those wings. Whichever side you want to put Sanji on, because Zoro's on the other one, Sanji will always be one of the wings. And you never know. We can't rule it out. After hearing everything about Sanji and what could potentially be happening, could it happen? Because I don't want to rule it out anymore. I mean, we all kind of had like a gut feeling that Zoro would eventually get Conqueror's Haki, but now Yamato has it, and if Yamato joins the crew, so it could happen, guys, and it could make the Sanji fans really, really happy. And after, like I said, the last chapter, we can't rule it out. We cannot rule it out whatsoever, because we've still got a lot to see from Sanji and the way his body is going to actually be. But I will save that for another video. So overall, guys, yeah, I really like this chapter, apart from that one criticism with Jeff. But other than that, I enjoyed what we got, and I think we will get some more backstories between both Kaido and Yamato going further on. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. Make sure to smash this video with a thumbs up for Jeff. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you guys never ever miss a post, and I will see you guys for the next video. So until then, see ya.